guys. Welcome to the Iron Sharpens Iron podcast. My name is Jasmine.
And my name is Ariana, and this is our 7th episode.
So today we are going to be speaking about
cancel culture. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about that.
Let's get deep, especially with everything that's going on right now. I feel like it's like so easy to cancel somebody.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's
especially like on platforms like social media, like Instagram, TikTok's a big one. TikTok. I don't really know if we use Facebook that much. We don't really.
Don't be hating. There's some old folks watching us.
Maybe Facebook, but where I see it the most is honestly TikTok.
Yeah,
that's probably the most.
Because I feel like Instagram, you're still, there is an explore thing, but you're mainly seeing your people's stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like you should know who you're following.
Exactly.
But on TikTok, it's like broad. You just see everything all over the world. So it's like.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to be talking about it from our perspective as teenagers, you know. Maybe you have
I'm 20.
You're 20?
It's okay, baby girl.
But maybe you have a different opinion about it. We're gonna be talking about it in a biblical standpoint. So it's not really gonna be our opinions.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like, well, this is wrong, and because of this and this person that, like, we're not gonna be naming out names of certain people that are like whether they're famous or not, because that's just not. Our whole channel is not to bring negativity, especially when we're talking about cancel culture. Yeah. It's not to be like, oh, Jasmine, I remember seeing she posted X, Y, and Z. Like, you know, like I'm not trying to do all that.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with something. I remember I went to church and the pastor was talking about fishers of men, because that is the title of
our series.
Yeah, our series. And he convicted me because he says something along the lines of, think of somebody that you think is too far off to be saved. Now, in the Bible, it literally says that Jesus came and he died for all of us, you know? So that means he died for your favorite YouTuber. He died for your favorite celebrity. He died for even the most like cruel person you know, he died for. So that kind of convicted me because I'm like, I don't think
like, what you mean you died for?
Like, I get it, like he died for everyone, but like
that person,
but like him or like her.
But that's real. That's what I said. Let's talk about it. But like, it's so easy to be like, oh, God saved us, like he died to save us, but then don't realize there's people that don't follow him, like you said, that are too far to be saved, and we're like, no, but like, God, did you really die for them, though? Like, it's like a weird concept because you want to be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. He died for them. But it's like, but they're still living like this.
Yes. And I know online, some people like to put a narrative where it's like, well, I'm turning to Christ. So, and then you see them do some stuff on their platform. Like, oh, my goodness. I just seen this one video where Bryce, he was talking about the
I love Bryce.
Yes, right? But he was talking about how he watches Love Island, right? So that's such a controversial thing if Christians should be watching that show or not. I personally don't watch it because I don't got time, but
I just see whatever pops up on TikTok.
Yeah, but I saw that Bryce was talking about this show, and in his comments, they were like, Bryce, you can't be watching that show, and like just attacking him. Oh, that's not very Christian of you, or this and that. Now, if you don't know who I'm talking about, Bryce is around our age group, right? And he does a lot of videos where he goes out and he prays for people.
He evangelizes.
Yes, and it's beautiful to see, but it's also so like negative in the comment sections when you're trying to put somebody down and being like, well, you're not Christian because you're doing this, or trying to point out any time that they slip up.
Right.
And it's like, oh, now Bryce is canceled all of a sudden because he's talking about a show.
Actually, now that you brought that up, I just saw another like Christian influencer. I don't say influencer because I'm not supposed to influence people, but y'all know what I mean. And it was Emmy Moore, and love her. Like, she's awesome. She's like, if y'all might not remember her name, but she's the one that usually does the pick it up and preach girl. And people were canceling her because she was like, Labubus are ugly, Labubus are demonic.
They are ugly though. I would not get one of those.
But like she was generally just saying like one, they're ugly. Like let's get this right. They're not cute. And not. She was like, oh no, but like that they look demonic. She wasn't necessarily saying that they were demonic. Yes, they're from the devil. Right. And people were canceling her because they were like, you over spiritualized everything. Christians always want to talk this and that. But what about when you did whatever? And they were literally trying to cancel her because she didn't like Labubus.
No, that's crazy. First of all, the price is insane.
$60.
Like, what? And then people buy little outfit. You're buying an outfit for a McDonald's toy. I'm so sorry. They're literally McDonald's toys. Like, and
Build
they overpriced. Like, I'd rather buy myself an outfit and be like, I'm dressing up like Gucci. Like, Gucci. Buy yourself Gucci. Stop buying your little toy. Oh, I can't. And I seen one that was like super huge, overpriced, like 1,000. Like,
now you're bugging.
That's not on my list. Personally, I stand with her.
And they're demonic.
I personally I don't find the hype about those.
No, yeah.
I don't at all.
And guess what? That you don't need to get canceled for not liking the hype.
Exactly. Like what?
Whatever.
But yeah, I just find that so weird. Like people find any little thing to cancel you about, and
it's almost like culty.
Yeah.
Like if you're not on the same wavelength as everybody else, you get canceled out.
Yes. That sucks because you can't have your own opinions, you can't voice. That's why I don't be leaving comments. That's why I don't be commenting on anything because I'm like, heck no.
You know what's funny? I actually did that once. I commented on something because like I'm not gonna say exactly what, but it was like somebody won something and I compared it to another person that won something. Like it was like if you as a non-singer won the best singer because you hit one note without one time. Like, but what about these 50 million singers that actually do this for a living? Yeah. It was something along the lines of that. And people were like, oh, but you don't understand. This person did that and that and that. I'm like, okay, but what about the other hardworking people?
Yeah.
They've been doing this all their life. And the one person that already got all the money in the world, like, and I was getting canceled. No, but I wasn't getting canceled. No, whatever.
I would, and that's another thing. That's another point to bring out is that it's so crazy because we cancel people that have a platform and we cancel people that are in the eyes of others. And you might say, well, yeah, they post their whole entire life, so we have the right to judge them and we have the right to say whatever we want or comment about their lives because they're literally putting it in social media so everybody can see. But here's the problem with that is that people take that and they choose to see the negative part of things. They don't see this person that just, posting with their families, having the good time. But then when they notice they're a little bit irritated, oh, he doesn't love his family.
He hates this person.
He hates this person. Like we start to look at things.
You saw the way they looked at them?
Yes, because we're gravitated to that negativity. Like we want something to talk about. And that's the problem because that's when we start finding faults because we're like, okay, we can speak about this.
Nobody wants to talk about the good.
Exactly. Which is crazy to me because what if somebody it's like, think about it, like God literally has a camera to you. Like you are living
under a
lens, literally. And so you may not be posting about it, but
guess who sees?
He's seeing. So can you imagine if you were in their shoes and you did have a platform? And I know I see this a lot in comments like, oh, God knew not to give me a platform because I would get canceled every day.
Yes. Or like God knew not to put me on a podcast because my opinion is like whatever.
Yes. So just think about that. Like you are trying to criticize another person or find fault or find something negative to say about somebody else when you yourself have so much, or are carrying so much negativity in your own life. And think about how you would feel if somebody tries to point out all the bad things you do or trying to switch up the narrative because some people do that too. Yep. Like,
They manipulate what they heard, what they
yes,
see.
they take a little clip and they like blow it up into something bigger than what it is. And that sucks. And I kind of feel so bad for the people that actually like do the social media stuff, because it turns it into such a negative environment.
Right.
Where sometimes I'm like scrolling on TikTok and I'm looking at the comments and I'm like, dang, like I didn't even see that until I read the comments.
No, yeah, and it's definitely an influential part. Because for me, I literally was just watching another podcast, and the girl was talking about how she naturally gravitates towards the comments. I was like, oh my god, me too. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like subconscious. I'm like, oh, comments. Like,
Yeah.
they're always gonna tell me something.
Too, yeah.
And that's so true, because I'll have like opinion on a video. I'm like, oh my god, it was so funny. I go to comments, oh my god, and they start hating on this person. I'm like,
oh, I didn't realize.
I was like, was that bad?
Yes.
Like, very bad. And honestly, I think that's why I was so for doing this podcast. But what really got me like was because I knew, especially as a Christian, Christians get criticized and hated on so bad, like so bad. And so I'm just thinking like, okay, we're gonna start this thing. We need tough skin, like,
yes,
because we're gonna get hate.
Yeah,
it's gonna come with it. But I always think like, what Jesus saying, like they hated me first.
Exactly. And
you know why? Perfect man.
You know why people hold like Christians get so much hate is because we're held at this super high pedestal where people are like, they're supposed to be so holy. You can't mess up. You know what's right. Don't be doing that.
Yeah.
Like, and then you start criticizing the person because you're like, you know what's right and you're not doing it. But don't we all? Don't we all?
I literally had somebody say, that wasn't very Christian of you. And I was like, whoa.
I say that sometimes, but I joke around.
No.
Okay, I'm just saying. Like, I hope that I wasn't that person, because I'd be saying but I'd be saying it joking around.
I know, yeah, that's different. But they were, I don't remember what I said. I think like I made a joke or something. I don't remember. But they were like, oh, like, aren't you a Christian? And I'm like, did that make me not a Christian?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't cuss.
Yeah.
I didn't sin. Like, what the heck? And I forgot. I just, their thoughts and views of what a Christian was, what is like, almost like a nun.
Yes.
Like, you have to be like strict. You can't have humor. You can't have personality. And that's something that bothers me, is that some people feel like when they become Christian or when they are Christian, that because of what people hold us to, it's like you can no longer have a personality no more. You can't be funny. You can't, like, it has to be like beige and it has to be very calming, and everyone needs to talk like this.
You can't mess up because God forbid you mess up and everybody starts attacking you for it. And that's not.
We cry all the time. Well, we do. But like, that's not, like, we're going to be raw. We're going to be real. And we're going to tell you how it is with love.
Yes.
And only the way that God wants us to, because
we're trying, at the end of the day, we are humans. And just like everyone else, we are trying to form a relationship with the Lord. And the relationship with him is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be sunshines and rainbows. It's not going to be, all the time I'm going to be perfect.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to try because I love God to be the best that I can in his eyes. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to do things like, how can I put this? A lot of people do a lot of different works to look the part, right? To look Christian, to look like, oh, I'm the most holiest. Look what I'm doing. But God doesn't see that, and God sees your heart. So you got to fix that heart posture first.
Yep.
And then, your fruit will show, okay? It's not you trying your best efforts for your fruit to show. No. Once you fix that heart posture and you fix, like, your relationship with God, and you're like, God is literally you're working for something. It's just God, not working to be perfect, not working to be seen well in front of others. Once you start working for that, your fruits will show. And I feel like a lot of people take that and twist that, and it's like, oh, well, their fruits ain't showing like this person's. Or you got to remember, we're all different. We're all in different levels. I'm not going to compare myself to Ari's walk. I'm not going to compare myself to any of my friends' walks. I'm not going to compare myself to nobody, because my life and my walk is different with the Lord than it is with you. We all have gone through different stuff where I also saw this at church, the worshiping, like the gratitude you have for God. Like your gratitude may not be the same as my gratitude because maybe God delivered you from way more than what he delivered me from, because I didn't go through as much as what you went through. So my gratitude is not going to be the same gratitude that you have. In the same sense, like even in the Bible, I forgot what book it was that it mentioned, so I'm not gonna be like quoting, but I'm gonna be like
it's in the
summarizing.
Bible. Y'all should find it.
Yeah. So I found it in Luke chapter 7, verse 41 through 43. It basically talks about two people owing money to a moneylender. One owed him 500 denarii and the other owed him 50. So obviously one owed him way more than the other one. Neither of them had the money to pay, so he forgave the debts of both. So then Jesus asked Simon who will love him more, right? So one of them had a lot more money to owe than the other one. So obviously, I mean, if you know the answer, shout it out.
But, like Dora? Yeah. It's like, do you know the answer?
Do you know the answer? Let me tell you what Simon said. Simon said, I suppose the one who had the bigger debt forgiven. And Jesus said, yes. Yes to Simon.
Yes, sir.
He's right. Okay, and then Luke 7:47. I'm jumping. If you wanna like read that whole entire thing, it's beautiful. But I'm gonna jump to 47 where he says, therefore I tell you, her many sins have been forgiven, as her great love has shown. But whoever has been forgiven little loves little. So what does that mean? Right? Obviously, it jumped talking about a woman. If you want to read that whole entire passage, you can. It's really beautiful. But he was talking about the debtors at first, where one owed him a lot more money. Say Ari owes me $50,000, and then Ari's we'll say Laz, right? Our friend Laz. Laz owes me $5, and I'm like, you know what, guys? You owe me $50,000. You owe me $5, but it's okay. I got money. Y'all don't gotta give it back. And so Ari's like, oh my God, thank you so much, because I didn't have that money. And Laz is like, thank you so much. I didn't got the $5. Who do you think is gonna be more great? Like, who's gonna be more relieved or like grateful or like, oh my gosh, thank you so much? Ari, because she would have had to, I don't know what she would have had to do.
My poor kids would have still been paying you back.
For the $50,000. Like, she would have to do way more than Laz to get those $5, you know? So Ari's going to be more grateful and be like, well, thank you, Jasmine, for that. I appreciate it. So I feel like that is a great example used. Like, say you have, now I'm going real world examples. Say Ari is an alcoholic her whole entire life. You know, she's done so many bad things. Like, she literally, or God forbid, Ari, but she literally stabbed somebody and
God forbid.
She went to jail. Like, she was in a gang. She was
terrible in this story.
She was a thug.
Thug life.
For real. And then say our friend Laz over here, he just lied to his mom. He
took the cookie.
He took that cookie, bro. And God forbid Laz lies again. But Laz is over here lying, but Ari's over here being a thug. So, and the fact that God can look at both of them and be like, I forgive you to both of them. Who's going to be like, oh my gosh, thank you.
Like who's going to be crying at the altar?
Exactly.
The most.
Exactly.
Not to say, like, not to belittle the other one, but I can definitely see where you're going with that. Like, it's different. Like, everybody's posture is different when it comes to worshiping. It's true, because even like I'm somebody, if it's an upbeat song, you can see me jumping. I'm like, yeah, we in this. If it's a emotional song, I'm like, oh Jesus,
yes,
I'm so
I cry regardless.
Happy tears, sad tears, it's coming out.
Yeah,
but like that is so important to point out, because your worship shouldn't match my worship. Like, because you could be fighting something that you haven't spoken to me about, so you're gonna be more closed off. And if God does something in that moment that you just start breaking down, and I'm just having like a regular worship moment, like nobody should be judging one or the other, because again, like you said, we're on different walks, we're on different paths. Like it shouldn't matter what I do or what you do, as long as our focus is on God.
Yes, exactly. Amen.
Just like,
Just summarize it.
you're welcome.
But yeah, and that ties back into cancel culture. Why? Because we don't know what people are going through. We don't know what God has delivered them from. We don't know what people are still struggling with. And for us to point out somebody else's flaws,
Like their sins and
like
stuff.
their sins, like you don't have your own. And we talked about this in the other episode with the stones. You guys are literally throwing stones with comments.
Ooh.
You're throwing stones and
Those
stones,
screenshots, those reposts.
all of that. It affects somebody's career. It affects somebody's, like, not even their career, just themselves in general. You don't think they look back at that and they're like, whoa, I'm a horrible person. Like,
What really bothers me is people canceling. So let's say like I did something when I was like 12 years old and now I'm 28 and they're like, oh, but you saw what they posted when they were 12? And I'm like, yeah, I was 12 years old. I was an idiot.
yes.
Like, and they hold that against them, and these people lose their whole life. Like you hear stories of people losing like their scholarships, their school, their work, like everything, because if the wherever they're going to, like their school, their work, if they allow them in, then they get the backlash and they're like, oh, we don't want that.
Yeah.
So, and I just don't see like the point in this cancel culture. Like it's so disgusting.
People can't accept the fact that, like, people try to look back once they see you doing good, then they start like finding something else from your past, like start bringing things up. And that's horrible to do. And even in real life where we judge others for their past, I remember I used to do that. Like I would hold a grudge against somebody and keep bringing up the negative stuff they did, because it was a lot of resentment in my heart towards this person. So it was like I kept bringing up the bad stuff they did, kept bringing that up. And it's like, no, God already, if I want to be forgiven for the bad things that I've done, for the horrible things I've done, I need to forgive others as well. And I can't be holding that against. You can't expect God to forgive you for all the things you've done when you can't forgive others for what they've done. Like, who are you? Are you the God?
Oh,
are you the God?
Are you Big G? I
don't think you're Big G. I don't think so. So don't be trying to act like the judger. You're not the judger. You can't be going around saying, you messed up, you messed up, you messed up, you messed up.
Because what if somebody took what you said, took what you texted, what you did, and started posting it, and everybody started reposting and screenshotting, and it started going all over the internet? Guess what you're going to do? You don't want to shut everything off because everybody's tagging you and everything. And, now you're going to feel like there's a spotlight on you that you didn't want.
And I truly do believe, like now you're saying that, I truly do believe that there is a fair God. And there's a God that 100%. When he comes on Judgment Day, you will be put on that screen. And you will be everything. Yeah, and it's nerve-wracking. But honestly, truly, like, you will be put on that screen. And you will get brought up all the bad things that you've done. And you got to give account to that. You got to give account to that.
Yeah.
And just like you guys are doing this in real life, and we as humans, as imperfect sinners, we're giving accounts to other people's lives. Like, oh, you did that. Look, remember when you did that? Remember when you did that? Well, okay, when Judgment Day comes, he going to be like, remember when you did that? Remember when you did that? Like, don't be thinking you're free because there's not a screen on you, because there's not a camera pointing towards you. God sees everything. He sees everything you're doing, and he's a fair and just God. And I truly do believe he's going to come, and he's going to hold us all accountable for what we've done.
100%. What do you want to talk about just in the social media aspect? There's cancel culture within the church, you could be outside of church, because cancel culture is even outside of religion.
Yeah.
And people start canceling their friends, start like putting these boundaries are okay. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's like we have disagreements, and I'm like, oh, now we can't be friends because you believe this and I believe this, and now we can't be friends because clearly you don't believe it. You're not thinking what I think. But you know how like small-minded you have to be, with respect, to like think like that? Because now you're only surrounding yourself with people that just think like you. So you're not expanding your mind. You rather just stay in one spot and nothing's growing. You're not learning. Nothing's changing. You're gonna constantly stay in the same state. And how is that beneficial?
Right.
And you're just like, I see so much of, especially right now, like so many people are like putting their labels on each other, like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and like politics and all this stuff, and are losing friendships and family over labels, honestly, and
Disagreements and different opinions.
like, and I find that so crazy because me and Jasmine, we literally just spoke the other day of something like we had different viewpoints on, but we still found a middle ground. And even in the case we didn't find a middle ground, I'm not gonna be like, okay, now we can't be friends.
Can't be friends with
Like,
her because she don't agree with me. like
it's just so crazy that how
Yeah.
people can think like that. Because like, imagine if God did that to you.
Yeah.
Like, there's things there's things that I believe or whatever, or used to believe, not now, that I used to believe. I'm like, well, why can't this happen? Why can't
Yeah.
we do this? Whatever. Like, what's the harm in this?
Yeah.
It's like, why am I even trying to question God right now? Like, not that you can't ask questions, guys. Like, he's not
Yes.
afraid
No,
of our
yes,
questions.
for sure.
It's not like he can't answer them. I'm just saying, like, I had these questions. I'm like, why am I questioning the Almighty God that's telling me, no, this is wrong?
Yeah. Or
Like,
you read something in the Bible and you're like, wait, I don't think that's that bad. Why are you saying
Right.
that I'm gonna die for this? Like,
why say I'm gonna die for lying this one time? Like,
yes. And then we don't think about it, and we're like, whoa, I don't think that's a big deal. But now we're over here questioning God because He's saying it's a big deal. And if that big G says it's a big deal, it's a big deal. Best believe I'm not gonna lie.
Right. Because once we start questioning that, and questions come, it depends, because you could genuinely, sincerely be asking questions, and then there's questions that are coming like to attack or like
Yes.
to find the negative.
Yeah.
And it's like, where are you trying to get at? Where is the what are you trying to get out of this conversation?
Right. Yeah.
And it's so like mind-boggling that we even have to have this discussion, honestly, because I just feel like if everyone's so like for everyone, everyone's so like loving, and everyone just wants peace and all this stuff, it's like, so why don't you make that change? When you're seeing somebody you disagree with, why are you leaving negativity and like negative comments? Why are you sending this to somebody or reporting or doing this and doing that because you just disagree with this person?
Yeah.
Like, and it's so,
And there's a way also, because you might say, well, didn't you see how this person reacted? I'm going to obviously defend, there's a certain way to voice your opinions.
right.
Also. There's many peaceful ways to voice your opinions where you're not doing it in a disrespectful manner, because obviously if you're being disrespectful, you're going to upset a lot of people.
Right.
So think of ways to, be smart and be like, well, how can I voice my opinion in a respectful manner, and also not trying to what's it called? Also not trying to
Like win the argument.
win the argument, right? And just be more peaceful about things, be more considerate, and be more like Jesus.
Like, literally, right. Like, I feel like if there's anything to remember right now, it's like when you see something you don't like, whether it's somebody that you know or somebody that you don't, before you say anything or think anything, just take a moment, breathe, and literally think like, am I going to attack this person? And attacking doesn't necessarily mean you're going directly to the source, because you could be going to this person and that person. I'm just like, oh, like if I find out something about Jasmine that
I'm so sorry.
and I find out something about Jasmine, and I'm like, and I'm friends with her boyfriend. I'm like, did you see what Jasmine was doing though? Like, that's kind of weird. And so if I feel like there's something wrong, why don't I just go to this person, like, and be like, hey, I noticed this and that. Like, can we talk about it? Like, I don't agree with that. And it could be that she's doing something that's right and actually like for God, and I'm just not seeing that, and I'm like, that doesn't seem okay. Like, it's just the simple fact of just taking a moment, breathing, thinking like, how am I going to proceed?
Yes.
Is it that big of a deal to
Yeah.
actually talk about, or is it something that's just in you and you need to pray about?
Yeah. You know what I do also? Like, when I see somebody that I disagree with, or somebody that I'm like, oh my goodness, he irritates me, or like something like that, right?
Right.
I think back And that was a very reflection, what I mentioned in the beginning of Jesus literally died for everyone, like not excluding anyone.
Yep.
That was so big to me. And so I look at somebody, I'm like, Jesus died for you. Like,
God
he
bless
literally
you.
died for you. And I think and I reflect on that, where it's like he was once a little baby. He was once somebody's kid. He was once an innocent child. And I look at and like I'm so serious. I look at somebody that I'm so upset with and so irritated with, and I'm like, this is God's child. What more can I say? Like,
Yeah.
look at people in that way. Maybe this is something that'll work for you, because it truly does calm me down where I look at somebody that I'm so frustrated with, or somebody that's going down the wrong path and I can see it but they're not listening. And I'm like, this is your child, Jesus. Like, this is your son, your
And
daughter.
not to, like, Jesus died for everyone, but you have to understand that those that are purposely leaving
Yes.
him and purposely, like, whether it's murder or committing these crimes, whatever it is, those people that are purposely doing these things and knowing what's right, they still have consequences. Yeah,
Yes.
Jesus died for them, so they have a chance to be saved. So they have a chance to go to him and invite the Holy Spirit in. But those people, once they deny him and then they pass, and it's like they're gonna face his wrath. Like, now they're gonna see, like,
yeah.
for Judgment Day, that is your name in the book of life, or are you going to hell?
Yeah.
Like, let's keep it real. Like, what are you doing right now? Is that going to be beneficial for you in eternity? Because the things are happening right now, it's important, but what's more important? Our life right now, or what's going to happen for eternity? I'd rather live my life in a way that if I get hated on, I get hated on, but guess what? I'm going to be eating with the king. Like, that's my goal.
Yes.
And my goal is to see the people that I love, and hopefully the people that I've evangelized to and spread Jesus' love to them in heaven as well. I don't want to, I mean, granted, when we are getting judged, we're not going to think about cancel culture. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to think about ourselves.
Yeah.
But, like, imagine, it literally says that there's going to be more people in the hell than there is in heaven. And that breaks my heart. I could just imagine how it is for God. But it's simply for the fact that people rather put themselves into these bubbles and put themselves with these labels and try to fit into these certain crowds that are just so far from what like our purpose is. Yeah. Your purpose is not, oh, are you a Republican or a Democrat? Like, you know what I mean? Or your sexuality. Your purpose is not these little things that we put on ourselves. Our purpose is to simply live with love and focus on God, because God will give us the people that are also doing the same thing. Because you know how I literally just posted this, actually. It was like, you know, the who said that trend that's going around. Yeah. First of all, I love it. But there is this one that I posted, and the guy was like, a relationship without Jesus is just lust. And I was like, oh, because Jesus is not lust. So if you're having Jesus in your relationship, that's love.
Yeah.
And he was like, who said that? And I just find that, like, so important, because God's going to place relationships, and not so much boyfriend, girlfriend, like just friendships and family in your life to show those fruits of that, to show what it is to have this beautiful, like, Jesus-like connection. Because how sad is it to know, like, I keep going back to, like, there's gonna be more people in hell than there is in heaven.
Because not a lot of people want to accept that in their life, because they see the world and they see what everything is, technology is evolving, this world is more dangerous as we go, truly. But you do see a lot of beautiful things. I mean, God created this. Like, it's going to be beautiful. But just to think that there's something beyond this, and that this is nothing compared to what we... to compare to what we get to live for in eternity. But a lot of people like to be like, well, what if there isn't? What if I'm working for nothing? Let me just enjoy life now.
which is so crazy to me because I've thought that before. I'm like, oh, well,
Do I truly want to?
there was a slightest, smallest moment that I was like, is there really like something after? Like we all think it.
We all do, yeah.
But I was like, no, after that, I was like, nah, like get out of that. I know,
Yes.
I know there's something
Yeah.
after death. Like I don't need to do tarot cards and a Ouija boards. Like I know.
Yeah.
But just don't do that, guys. Don't do those stuff. Don't go to psychics. Don't do that. I just feel like saying that. But little thing that we're going through right now, like if I'm trying to live my life, even if there was nothing. I know there's something, but even if there was nothing after death, at least I lived my life loving on people, praying, having a conversation with people, and that's what's really like getting me of people that don't think there's something after. Because I'm like, when I pray, things happen. This manifesting stuff, like yes, you can manifest things, but how? Because of God. And you want to know why? Because God gave us power in our tongue. So when we start saying things out loud, this manifestation is like, oh, affirmations, stuff like that, which is good. But like people have to, sorry, I thought I saw something. Which is good. Like, you're seeing all this positive stuff, but why is it effective? Because God gave us authority of our, through our tongue. Right. It's a double-edged sword. We can speak life, we can speak death. So when we're speaking this negative stuff onto people, but weapons they form against you, but they shall not prosper. Yeah. So obviously stuff, but some people, they lose that shield and it hits them.
Well, because they're not really living in, like, what that says is like, no weapon formed against me shall prosper because of God.
Right.
So when you're not following God, it's like,
you're gonna get
the weapons are gonna hit you. You don't got no shield.
Right. Let's talk about the armor of God. Are you putting that on daily? Like,
yeah. Oh, I know a lot of people like to post, and I was one of them, where you post, little verses here and there, but you don't really read the context behind it. And that's the context behind that verse, where that's a very like popular one. No weapon formed against me, because people are like, I could do whatever. Like, God got me.
The devil could put anything at me. Ain't nothing gonna happen.
Ain't nothing gonna hit me.
But one last thing that I wanted to point out with this whole cancel culture thing, I literally I was texting her about it, like, what should our next topic be? What should we talk about? And something I put out when we were discussing this cancel culture was, like, I was thinking about our name. I'm like, oh, wow, this goes to our name so well, like Iron Sharpens Iron. And I was thinking, like, why are we not sharpening each other? Like, we're literally throwing each other under the bus when we should be sharpening each other. Yes. When I see something's wrong or I see something I disagree with, I shouldn't be tossing you into social media and throwing you all over the whatever so it could circulate and then go back to you and just mess up your whole entire life. If I see something I disagree with, we're going to speak about it. Maybe not in the moment, because I also want to point out that everyone has their own way of dealing with things. And if you're somebody that that if you talk when you're upset at that moment and you're going to lash out, then take a moment, really sit with it and see, like, is it even worth it, or were you just mad for the moment?
Yeah, no. I'm one of those people where I definitely need to sit and collect my thoughts, because one thing about me is that I'm very emotional. So whenever
you say things out of emotion.
Like, very emotional, or like I take things like to the heart sometimes. So when somebody like says something to me, I take it to the heart, and I'm too sensitive, but I'm like, okay, let me pause, let me think. I'm like, okay, well, start analyzing like different views, different like perspectives. I'm like, okay. And I react in a way where it's more calm, but it's also expressing also how I felt in the moment. Right. But I'm more calm about it, because I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just like in the moment, Mm-hmm. So I'm one of those people that I get very emotional, and I get like, not so much like when I'm angry. It takes a lot to get me angry.
Yeah.
But I do
just get irritated fast.
Yeah. I do like to collect myself and think before I react, because if I just react out of emotion, I'm like, how could you? How could you say that to me?
Literally. Like, that's I think I spoke about it in one of the past episodes of, like, that's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Yeah.
Like, let's listen twice more than what we should speak. And I find that so important, because, like you said, like, sometimes we go off of, like, I just want to say something in that moment. Like, if I talk right now, I'm going to talk. Like, you're going to hear me.
You're going to hear me out.
And And it's so true because sometimes we speak, because people be like, oh no, what you said is really what you mean. It's like, honestly, no. Sometimes people just say things in the moment, just to hurt you, like in that moment.
Yeah.
Whether it's not, like, whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
And like, it's so crazy you say that because I'm the opposite. I'm the person that I need to talk in that moment. Like, if I don't talk about it now, it's going to build up and get worse for me later.
Yeah.
So I also had that struggle with relationships because I had a struggle with, like, the person was like you and needed to be away for a moment and then can speak.
Well, that's also one thing I don't like, that like you go days without talking because you gotta collect
days
yourself.
is crazy.
I'm not like that. I'm not like that.
I never said
it
days.
takes me like a minute. Like it takes me, especially like through text. Like it takes me a minute, but I'm not gonna go like countless hours. Like,
Right.
It's not like that at all. I just need to think before I react. Like I think for a quick minute. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like it's a quick little thought. You know, it's not like I'm taking days off to
a week. She's like, all right, I'm back
I'm
now.
back. The answer is yes.
I ain't mad at you no more. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
But to wrap it all up, let's think twice before we decide to repost something, screenshot something, send it to someone, say something. Just post something, because even indirect messages are direct messages.
Exactly.
And
Just be mindful of
right.
You do got a lens on you. That's God. He's watching you, and just
Which is the
remember
most powerful.
Everything is, not sadly, actually really good. Everything is going to, like, whatever you do, whatever you do, and you might think, oh well, I am forgiven. Yes, you are forgiven, but that does not mean that you continue to live in that,
Right.
and you continue to be rude to people, and and especially calling yourself a follower of God. God doesn't do that. God doesn't every single time you do something bad will condemn you for it, or be like, well, you're messing up. Like, no. So
You dirty rotten sinner.
dirty rotten. We're all dirty rotten sinners. But yeah, that.
So if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on our Instagram, because I know we've been slacking a little bit, but life kind of got to us.
We just stay tuned. Actually, just stay tuned.
Anyways, so just stay tuned.
Yeah.
Anyway, so our Instagram is ironsharpensiron.pod.
Yes.
And just show us
Follow
some
that.
love.
Show
Yeah.
love.
And leave a comment. Let's see. Let's see if they made it to the end. Let's tell them to me to leave a comment.
Say something positive.
Whether it's for you, whether it's for us, whether it's for somebody else, leave like a little note.
Yeah.
It could be 2 words, it could be a sentence, it could be a paragraph, whatever you want. Just
And at the end, put "I love you, Ari and Jasmine!" Exclamation point. Period.
with a heart.
Red. Actually, no, red.
You're so annoying. And as Proverbs 27:17 says,
As iron sharpens iron.
a friend sharpens a friend. See you next week.
Not next week. Actually, we forgot to tell you.
Whoa.
We're not posting weekly anymore. We are posting bi-weekly. Because
we could. Yeah, never mind. Continue.
because our schedules, like, we have been getting a little bit more busy, and we don't want this to turn. This is like, we're starting out, so I hope you guys can understand that it's just 2 of us, and it's
Doing everything.
Yeah, it can get a little overwhelming, and we do not want that. We want for this to also be not only fun
But
like,
beneficial,
and we can enjoy it as well. I don't want this to seem like a
job.
Yes,
We have to do it.
yeah. So we decided to post bi-weekly. So we'll see you next week, right? Or what should we say now? We'll see you
Next time.
next time. But that sounds like I'm saying goodbye for a long time.
This is because we got
See you.
canceled. This is our goodbye video.
See you in 2 weeks.
See you soon.
See you soon. Okay, yeah. I'll see you soon.
Cuter.
Okay, let's try again. Okay, let's try again. Okay, ready?
Letters. And as Proverbs 27:17 says,
As iron sharpens iron.
a friend sharpens a friend. See you soon.
Oh, that's so sad though.
Aw, man.